Hello, my name is Amanda Noblit. Welcome to my lightning talk for the Info 590 branch assignment. The system I chose to examine for this assignment is the Literature for Children Digital Repository. This digital repository is a collection of historical children's books published in the United States and Great Britain from 1850 to beyond 1950. At the core of this collection are books from the Baldwin Library of Historical Children's Literature, housed in the Department of Special Collections and Area Studies at the University of Florida. The collection also includes books from the Departments of Special Collections at the Florida Atlantic University, Florida State University, and the University of South Florida. The foundation for this collection was a cataloging and preservation microfilming project funded by the National Endowment for the Humanities. The collection is of international significance for researchers who study historical, cultural, social, and literary aspects of children's literature. The domain for this system is historical children's literature. The concepts from Info 590 that I will be highlighting today in this digital repository include metadata schema, faceted classification, machine-readable cataloging, and controlled vocabulary. We will start by looking at the metadata schema used in this collection. A metadata schema establishes and defines data elements and the rules governing the use of data elements to describe a resource. The Literature for Children digital repository uses a modified version of the Elsevier effect format called dataset.toc. For each resource in this collection, the dataset.toc file identifies and names the image files comprising the resource, defines the order of images, identifies and names the subsections, says which images belong to particular subsections, and establishes the order and hierarchy of subsections. Each resource also provides resource description using the 15 Dublin Core elements, the most universally used metadata scheme. As we learned in this class, faceted classification organizes data into a systematic order using a set of semantically cohesive categories. This type of organization aids in the retrieval process, enabling users to navigate the information more quickly to find their desired results. When accessing this collection, users are able to narrow the collection down by a defined set of facets. A few examples of the facets used include genre, language, and geographic subject. The facets appear to be specific to this domain, using terms specific to the nature of the content through the eyes of a researcher. More examples on the facets available in this collection can be seen by clicking on the bottom image to the right. In addition to the structural metadata, each resource is also described using machine-readable cataloging. Each library is responsible for creating a full MARC record for selected materials from their own collections. The records are expected to adhere to guidelines developed by the Technical Services Planning Committee Cataloging and Access Guidelines for Electronic Resources. The guidelines specify that records should represent the electronic versions only and include specific instructions like using the fixed field date 1 to record the date of the original resource and include a title subfield H to indicate the resource is electronic. Much like the use of a faceted classification system, this collection uses controlled vocabulary to index content and aid in the retrieval process. Controlled vocabularies are an organized arrangement of words and phrases and typically include preferred and variant terms. They also have a defined scope and usually describe a specific domain. One example of controlled vocabulary usage in this collection can be seen in the subject field of the top image to the right. This image illustrates the full resource description for the children's book At Grandpa's Farm. The controlled vocabulary used is the Library of Congress subject headings. The subject headings chosen for this resource are animals-juvenile fiction and stories in rhyme. By clicking on the subject headings, users can link to other books in the collection that have the same subject. The ability to link to these other books allows users to find similar books in this collection. The aspects of this collection I discussed enhance usability and aid in the retrieval process. Also, the use of both MARC and dataset.toc ensure this collection is interoperable both in library catalogs and with other data management systems. While the collection is geared toward researchers, I enjoyed accessing the resources for entertainment purposes and found the books to be quite interesting. Thank you for exploring the Literature for Children digital repository with me.